Hey, Melanie.
Good morning.
There's no green room today, so we're live. So,
Oh,
so for some reason, this is my first live on Zoom, and I could not connect it to Facebook. Hey, Melanie. So
good
we're just going to be
morning.
live
There's no green.
on. We're just going to be live on YouTube. So, so we're live on YouTube, and Reggie's here, so we're going to let him in. We're going to be interviewing Reggie Gray today for his new book, A Win-Win Situation. Awesome.
Super excited. Super excited to have Reggie here. He is the president of the International Chamber of Commerce. He has been thinking and working on this book for several years now. So I've been talking to him for several years. He's like, I'm going to get that book written. And now he finally did. And we're doing a pre-launch of his book today.
Awesome.
Reggie's in the house.
Reggie's in the house. Here he comes.
He's there somewhere.
Yeah, he's coming in. Oh, and it's a wonderful morning today. So excited when it's book launch day.
I know. Love book launch day. Because we know it's going to change somebody's life. They're going to become a bestseller. That's kind of the coolest part to me
Yeah.
is unbelief. It's like, really? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then
Hmm.
all the things come together that we do and all the processes that we do, and voila, it
Hey,
happens. And there's
Reggie.
Reggie. I
Hey,
love
So,
it with
how
the
are
so you're
you?
flag
never
behind
gonna
him.
believe this, Reggie. This is my first Zoom live meeting, and so
Really?
Facebook wouldn't connect, but we're live on YouTube, so we're all
Cool.
ready to go.
We're
Great.
already live.
This morning.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I've got my little mic plugged in today, so to make sure that we're good. Good sound.
So Reggie's book, The Win One. Now I lost the name of
Situation.
the book.
The win-win situation.
That's what I was going to say. The Win One Situation is pre launching today for 99 cents. He is the author of this incredible, fabulous book. So, Reggie, tell us, why did you write this book?
Well, it's pre-launching for 299 actually. But why?
299.
Yes. But why I wrote the book? This has actually been a probably a passion or a bit of a benchmark for my professional life since I thought of it in my 20s. I had started accumulating a lot of travel, coming across a lot of great personalities, business
Mhm.
leaders, um, just different people. And I started realizing it was making a lot of really good stories. And I was getting exposed to a lot of experience that probably the typical person doesn't get exposed to. So I started putting these chapter heads and these different things in my mind and just kind of filing them away until finally it's come a point in my professional life where I felt like it was time to convey and to leave all this as a bit of a legacy or as a bit of a way to help others through my own mistakes, my own past experiences, and hopefully help some of my members or just other business people or anyone for that matter that that this could impact.
Yeah, I love the title of your book. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and your profession so people can kind of see where you're coming from?
Okay. Well, it's in the book you get to read how I kind of transitioned into this, and it sounds really weird of getting from point A to point B, but if you follow it in the book, it blends. It's weird. It makes sense. But really, the three main areas would be a marketing background, a VP of marketing with shopping centers and development, and for a gentleman who's a film producer, has a pretty large real estate portfolio. So I helped manage his stuff and did total marketing from creating commercials to running the real estate to doing due diligence on new properties. I was recruited to also at a later time become the vice president of business development for a global logistics company that's heavy in the oil and gas industry due to the connections that I had in the oil and gas industry. Um, and while I was doing the position of VP of marketing, it required me to represent and sit on a lot of different boards throughout Houston and actually the United States. Several of them were chambers. Some were other organizations like United Way, March of Dimes, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and so on. But one of the chambers eventually asked me if I would come in and help to maybe restructure or re-energize the chamber. And that was 19 years ago, and I'm still here.
Wow.
I love the subtitle of your book, and you have such a great resume that you just told us with such rich experience. And I think that's really why one of the reasons why people should buy this book. But I love the subtitle that it's what I need, what others need. And then it goes into crossroads to collaboration, a personal development journey to building successful and synergistic relationships. So tell us, because you really live by that, what I need, what others need, because you're such a giving person.
Well, thank you. I something that I should clear, and I think do it in the first chapter. I'm writing the book not because this is like a Bible and I'm Jesus and perfect. I'm writing it because I've made a lot of mistakes. I still maybe don't. I don't have the key to the world by any means, but there are a lot of things that I experienced, observed, interacting with business people and industries all over the world now, almost 60 countries worldwide, and ongoing. Next week alone, I have trips to meet with in another country with two different cultures, Saudi Arabia and Mexico, and help collaborate, mediate to bring them together for business for the first time. But um, just the thoughts and the processes that I go through each chapter are things that have occurred to me or that I've experienced. Like one chapter, deals with I call quicksand, and it deals with people that kind of pull you in that you need to get away from. A lot of the big concept of the book is managing your time, and that people will try to waste your time. Or sometimes when you go in to do a deal, it's to them it's not even really about the deal. It's a game to them. It's a sport. It's a waste of your time. And so
Mhm.
this has a lot of application for business use, for deal making, but in general, it has a lot of application for just your life every day and the way that you approach life. Because again, one of the big, uh, I think, overviews of it is that your time is very precious, and you don't know how much you have. I literally say that in the book, and you don't know how to spend it. You don't know if you keep waiting for that magic retirement. You don't know how your health will be in your retirement, how your assets will be in your retirement. So don't wait for that magic retirement, or don't just live your life to have 2 vacation weeks a year. You need to, I jokingly call it rage. I just mean you just need to be robust. You need to live every day, like maybe it's your last, or like that it's as full as you'd want it to be. And I've been very lucky. I've been very blessed. I've always got to have careers and positions that allowed me to travel, where I got to see the United States, and then I got to see the world as part of my position, to collaborate with people, to collaborate with world leaders, with celebrities, royalty. And it's not, again, about as much as what I've done, because I come from very humble beginnings, but it's to just tell everybody just that old expression, wear the red dress, dance when you're asked, get on the dance floor, sing in the rain. You just have to live it while you have the chance, because you don't know how much time you have.
Yeah, I really like that chapter in the book because when you're talking about your time and you're talking about other people's time, right? I think it's really important, like you said, you don't know when your last days are going to be. So live your day like it is your last, right? Every single day. And
Yes, yes.
that 2 week mentality or the weekend mentality where you work just for the weekend, it's like, no, live your life for every single day.
Yeah.
Don't be just working till you're so you can have the weekend off, right? So like
Yes,
changing that
yes.
mindset from an employee mindset to a life mindset instead of,
It is, and I want the book to be about how it will integrate to everything you do really in your life, not just business. Um, because I think in general, some people have jobs, some people have careers, and some people have lifestyles. Luckily, I've got to have a lifestyle, and ideally, if you can, you want to get into that situation where everything that you do is an enhancement. They if you do what you love, they say you'll never work a day in your life.
Mhm.
And I think it's true. I also had the experience where I almost lost one of my sons when he was 6 months old. I've had an experience where I've come close to almost dying twice. And so I realize, and again, I've been blessed and lucky to realize the fortune that I've had and the importance of time and how valuable it is. And I just, if only one person, or if people take nothing away from the book, I just hope that they take away to value their time more. And again, just live a full, robust life.
Yeah, like my friend actually last night I went out with her to a play and she was saying how they had almost died that night. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, my daughter decided to stay up late and she woke me up at like 12:30 in the morning because she wanted to go to get something at the gas station, like a drink or something, and wanted to know if I wanted anything. And she said the house smelled funny. And then I woke up, she said she woke up and she noticed that the gas was on. So someone had leaned over the microwave, just turning the gas on, and
Oh
their whole
no.
house was full, had been on for over 4 hours. And
Oh
they could have
wow.
all, like, if they just didn't, if they didn't do that, they would all be, either sick or dead. So
Yeah, yeah.
crazy,
They could
just
have
the gas was on.
suffocated, or God forbid, even to have a spark and have some.
Yeah, so you just never
I,
know. You never
I
Yeah,
know.
think your
but
story
that's,
is
and
so
again, you see
motivating.
instantaneous stuff happen all the time.
Yeah.
My example I give in the book wasn't quite so instantaneous. I luckily had time where I could prepare a little bit, but it was still basically, you know, the medical staff basically telling me, "Hey, we think you're pretty well going to die because of COVID, so we're just letting you know, do what you need to do, but bring your will to the hospital." Um, and that's facing mortality is interesting for me. It was very liberating, and at first, as I detail in the book, I was sad, and I literally went through FaceTime and said bye to people, and they didn't really realize what I was doing. I did, and that last phone call with my youngest son was tough. And then when I got off, I have to admit, I was sad, and like probably anybody would, you start crying a little bit, or you start feeling, your tug at your life, and then I got this euphoria over me, and this bliss that I was lucky that I'd had a good life. I didn't have anybody I needed to apologize to, nothing I needed to redo, no major regrets. And I got thinking about all the things I've got to do and see and people to meet. And I actually just became very humbled and grateful, and had a different prayer and attitude about the whole thing. And again, it was very liberating. And unfortunately, I think some people don't know what it will be like possibly when it's their time to go, and they won't have time to make amends or do things. So you better
Yeah.
do it now.
Mhm.
I just love about the time, and I think it's so inspiring of just that mind shift. Whether you say, well, what if today's my last day, but really embracing each day and living it. And that's why I think the win-one situation is so inspiring in so many different ways, just for time, but for business as well. And you also talk about like faith and forgiveness in the book. And tell us how that plays a part in your life and can help other people.
Well, I talk about one of the expressions I use in the book is that I've been stabbed in the back so many times I ran out of room, so I had to turn around, but at least now I can see it coming. Um, you'll see, in business, and especially in a lot of things that you do, unfortunately, then I get into different people's personalities in the books and different chapters to bring your attention to it, maybe forewarn you, or if you're one of those people with those personalities, to kind of call you on it and let you know you maybe not as smooth as you think. A lot of people probably know how you are. Um, so it's just, um, I actually started thinking about part of the book. Sorry, I got sidetracked a bit. Um, Repeat the question to me, because I started to go totally into the book, and I lost your question, Melanie.
And that's okay. We talked about, like, you talk about faith and forgiveness, and you were
Yes.
saying
Oh,
how you
I'm
get
sorry. Yeah,
stabbed in
yeah,
the
yes,
back, and
yes,
then
yes,
how you
yeah,
can, because that's a big
yes,
part. You do get stabbed in the back in business and in life,
yeah,
even,
yeah,
personal and professional. And
yeah.
sometimes it's hard to come back from that.
Yes. Well, to begin, forgive me for not getting that question and getting sidetracked. But yeah, I actually come from a very religious family. And again, I kind of joke with everybody, and I go, yeah, okay, I'll be the first to say I'm a rogue. I'm a rapscallion or whatever and stuff. And this was something I was going to use in my second book that I've started. But having brother who's an ordained minister, and niece and nephew and cousins and everybody, um, there's things that I do to try to help situations or people. And the expression I use is sometimes if you want to fight the devil, you got to go meet him in hell. And so there's things that um, myself and I think other people that are in law enforcement that have to do things undercover and things are amazing people because there are things that they do that are in error, but they're maybe wrong and they're not guiltless. But
Yeah.
and so we make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I have made mistakes interpersonally. I've been married, been divorced. There are things. There's always two sides to those divorces, and you can hold grudges. You can go after each other, and unfortunately, it's usually the kids who are the ones that suffer,
Mhm.
or really just everybody just move on. I mean, life again is too short. So you have to just forgive. And whether it's in business, whether it's in, your personal life, or whether it's with family, um, it, if you'll step back, you'll see that probably no matter what the issue is, it just really isn't that important. And we all are very important, I think. And I believe in God, and I think we're all very important in God's eyes. But in perspective, I also tell people and go, sometimes you're just not that important, that when you think all these people are thinking about you and disruptive and out to get you, they got their own things going on and you probably aren't even on their radar. So shake it off.
Yeah, I think we're in our heads a lot, right? Like we're telling
Yeah.
ourselves these things that aren't true all the time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think that's part of holding a grudge, or the forgiveness and faith part is like having faith in yourself that you can forgive yourself for not forgiving people so quickly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just not holding that grudge because it's life is too short.
There was a wonderful lady that is an icon here in Houston. She's passed away, but she was a real estate head, and she had been a mom, a single mom, raised her kids, got real estate, became an icon here in Houston. I went and took her to speak one time, and she said something was great. Is holding a grudge or being mad at somebody is like you drinking the poison and then watching them, expecting them to die.
Yeah.
You're the one that's going to get ill. You drank the poison, they didn't.
Mhm.
Um, and I think there's a lot to that. And I just never forgot that. I was probably 15, 20 years ago. And I think it's a brilliant anecdote of how to look at that.
Yeah, the win-one situation, what I need, what others need. A great, great book. And I think that's so true. Like forgiveness is really for yourself, right?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
we go. There's the book. That's what we want to see. Look at that gorgeous cover too. I just love your book cover. It looks fabulous.
Oh, the designers you guys have are just amazing. You guys are a great organization. I can't think enough. I've had so much fun, and you guys, your ears should probably be ringing every day or burning, the expression, because I brag about you two all the time. You two are a great synergy and a great partnership. And I've actually had been approached for a while from different groups, I think wanting to publish or get access probably to, as Mike Anderson puts it in the book, Reggie's Rolodex. But just interacting with you all over a period of time, you guys are great to work with. I know you're already successful, but I wish you a lot more success. You guys are a great publishing firm. Anybody that is one of your authors should consider themselves lucky.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate that. Our goal is to make the whole process smooth and fun and successful. And that's what your book is going to be on this big launch day. If you haven't gotten the book already, go to the link. Jen's going to put the link in the description here so you can make sure you buy the book today because the price is going to go up. And you can buy it at any price. But today's a special day that we're launching it and going to push Reggie's book to an international bestseller. And we just love his book and love working with him. And this is a great book to give away as well. But buy one for you, buy one to give away, buy 10 to give away. This is a great Valentine's Day gift you can give out to your friends, a great business gift. Everyone's going to love it. So make sure that you do that.
Yeah,
And
pre-order it today, and then it will be available on your ebook will be available in March. So,
Yeah, yeah, and
but
actually,
pre-order
all
it
you can
today.
you can only buy your copy today. You can't buy anything for anybody else. This is like a one only thing. I call it the friends and family day. So it's your special price, and then it goes up. But I checked this morning, and as of this morning, we were already number one new release and all three business categories represented on Amazon. And
Ooh, that's a
excuse me,
celebration. Look at that.
it is. And in those three categories, we are already number 4, 6, and 7 on the bestseller list, working our way up. So
So
not that
grab
I'm
the book
tracking.
today.
Yeah, not that I'm
Not that you're
tracking or
tracking.
anything. I
Not that
can't
you're
help it. It's my nature.
not that you're looking every 3 minutes to make sure to see what it is.
No, no, not that I don't have the phone on refresh or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
today, make sure you get it for yourself. It'll be coming out in March. And then by paperbacks, hardbacks, there'll be an audiobook that's coming out. Get it in
Yes.
all formats. And again, buy multiple books that you can give to your friends once it comes out in those other formats as well. And Reggie's going to be touring. He's going to be having book signings. He's going to be on podcast. So you can hear more from him about his book, The Win-One Situation.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'll put the link in the description, and you'll also can just search Reggie Gray on Amazon.com, and his book will come up. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. If you do click on my link, there is an international link. You can click on your country's flag to buy the book. But if you're in Mexico or you're in Australia, you can just go to your Amazon.au or Amazon.mx and type in Reggie Gray, and his book will come up, and you can pre-order it today in your own currency.
Yeah, it's been great looking at that and seeing the links. And I've sent that out. I know I've got a lot of friends and business associates worldwide, so they've been active, and I've been getting comments from in LinkedIn and all these different places around the globe. So it's really been a great experience. Just I don't care if I make a dollar off of it, just the experience of it and the benchmark of having accomplished a book. It's like a legacy project. You've done it. It's there. It's something I left that long after I'm gone. Hopefully, it'll stay around. And I was inspired when I was 16. And it's interesting because I remember the day I read it, February 22nd, back when this was about like 1984. I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I said, one day I want to be able to write a similar book that impacts others like this impacted me, and to have had enough experience where I could write something like that. So again, to me, this is a a benchmark, and this is like a bucket list check. I did it. You all have made the process so exciting. I have another one in the pipes. Maybe even one another one after that. The next one in the pipes, I think people will probably enjoy even more. This first one is very serious, very businesslike. The next one is very much about my travels and stories that involve government agencies and another side of life that my friends call the James Bond side. It's You got to read the book. But I've had some interesting experiences, we'll say.
So one of the things you said is like, really, Reggie, all your experiences, you're going to get some of the experience, just a taste from this first book of someone who is an international business mogul, I'm going to call you, because you really are. You've touched so many different lives and been involved in so many different international business dealings that some of them you can't even talk about, that just the private interior people know about. So, I mean, this is really a special thing if you want to learn some of the things that you've learned over the course of your years, that you've like corralled. We're from Texas, so it's like you've corralled all the wild horses, and you're like, hey, I got all the best thoroughbreds right here. Let me show you what they are. And you get to ride them in this book. So it's really, really a special thing that you're being able to, like Napoleon Hill, you're capturing Reggie's knowledge from all the experiences that he's had. So really, I highly recommend that you grab this book.
Yes,
Thank you.
I always like the quote, "Success leaves clues." So don't be reinventing the wheel. Let's read Reggie's book and learn from his success.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. And I've tried to keep it. I told you guys I want it to be an easy read like his was. I tried to keep the chapters pretty short, or maybe with the story, but I don't fluff it up a lot. I get right to the point, and so you should be able to read it. And I don't really pull any punches. It gets direct. So you like that, and again, it cues up and gets you ready, for the next one. And I hint at the end of this book, but I mean, we're talking about stories of like me working with diamond buyers in Zurich and going into Moscow and getting a gentleman that was here in Houston out of the Dominican Republic, who was incarcerated. I've been visiting people in federal prisons in Mexico to get information. Meeting with groups behind the pyramids in Cairo. Just crazy stuff that sometimes I myself step back and go, did that really happen? This is kind of surreal. Um, but it did. And I've got, pictures and information. Can't release all the information, on some things, but it's some really good stuff. And you'll see a lot of great pictures, and you see a lot of them in this book. And I even hit in this book that some of the pictures that you see when I posted them on social media, a lot of people would like to see where I was going in different places, and they didn't know. And now I finally hit at the end and go in the second book that sometimes I was collaborating with government agencies, and sometimes those pictures to other people look like just, oh, look what he's seeing. They were actually pictures I was leaving for my safety or for information on where I was staying and where I was going that you get in one view. There's an example in that book. I'll give one little teaser that people don't know about. There's a picture where I'm standing and I have the pyramids behind me. Where I'm standing is my view from my hotel. And so if something happens, that's where I was. And the view behind me is where the meeting is going to occur, behind the pyramids. And to everybody else, it looks like I'm just showing off the three pyramids of Cairo. But depending on who's looking at it, that was a clue to basically say, in case, you don't hear from me tomorrow, that's where I was.
Yeah.
So
That's
just
where you
for
can find Reggie.
when Reggie asked you to travel with him, which I might be doing this on one of these events, like, okay.
Yeah. No. Those trips, I was always been point. I was always alone. It was just me. So any trips, if I ask you to go to a trip, it's a really good, safe trip and solid with a lot of people. It's the ones when I'm alone that you should go, what's he
Yeah.
really doing?
Sure, I'll
Awesome.
go
Well,
to
thanks
travel
so
with
much,
James Bond.
Reggie.
It's going to be exciting. I'll be like flying on the back of a motorcycle like a Tom Cruise movie.
There you go. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for being here on the interview today. Everyone go and buy the book. It's pre-order today, but it will be released in March. So if you're watching this video in March, you can go and get it on Amazon. Just type in Reggie Gray or type in a win-one situation and search that up on Amazon.
Yep. And if you're thinking about writing a book, or you're writing a book, or you've already written a book, contact us at Elite Online Publishing. As Reggie says, we have a really great seamless process, and it's fun, enjoyable, and we work to make you a #1 bestseller. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.